What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Got a few things to talk about today. Update on the knife stream. I've received my selections. They seem pretty good. Saturday. Just like Dadderday. Hey, Ruby Doob. What you got, Ruby? Let me see that. A Throblerone bar. Ready? Ready? Go get it. Get it. Good girl. Yeah. All right. I updated all my software and restarted my computer, so hopefully we should be good on the signal everywhere. I don't know. Yeah, we have a stream probably today and probably tomorrow. Looks 5 of 5 everywhere to me. Just want to let everyone get a second to get in here. Yeah, challenge. Let the people mourn Charlie Kirk in peace. Difficulty impossible for the left. It's actually bonkers how many people are going to be there. Do. How's everyone doing this weekend? We got some leftoid terror shooting up an ABC building. We've got some sort of lunatic, more information on this lunatic that shot up that was impersonating an officer. We've got confirmation that Ilhan Omar is banging her brother. Married her brother. I see you, mega big ass foot. Appreciate you. Suppose we probably just get cranking. We'll start on the Ilhan Omar story because I think it's hilarious. Everything about it is hilarious, funny. Are you okay? Seem exhausted? No, I had bowling last time. I'm a little tired. I was up early, choring. Got all my chores done. Then I'm going to do these videos. I'm going to take a shower. Then I'm going to go to church. Then I'm going to take my wife out to dinner. And then we'll watch a scary movie and fall asleep. Joshua says, good afternoon, Jeremy from the Hambling. Hey, how are you? All right, let's get going here. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. We've got a segment here for the Jeremy Hambly channel. You may recognize me from my Quartercast live streams or my quartering channel or Unsleeved Media or my RC channel. This is a channel where I get to be a little more spicy. I get to cover things that maybe are a little more hard politics, things that don't necessarily fit on my main channel. So I'm glad you're here and I hope that you're going to subscribe. Now, I, like a lot of people, I assume, out there, kind of thought the meme of Ilhan Omar marrying her brother was it was just a meme. Like, I don't know about you, but did you really think it was absolutely real that she married her brother? I didn't. I thought, ha ha ha, it's a consanguinity meme, blah, 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 blah. Well, it has now been confirmed that Ilhan Omar, in fact, did marry her brother per marital records obtained by Steven Crowder, which means she should be removed from her political position immediately, as well as deported. I mean, leave a like on the video if you disagree. I know that like people are angry about her, disparaging Charlie Kirk and saying he has a terrible legacy, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care because honestly, when awful people say awful things, I'm awfully not surprised. But I got to admit, this is a take you're only going to get on these type of segments. I'm a little sick of open foreigners running my government, whether it's a foreign lobby like AIPAC or Qatar or whatever people talk about, or it's like people like Ilhan Omar, who is clearly more loyal to Somalia than America. She has turned Minneapolis in particular, an unlivable dumpster garbage fire full of illegal immigrants from Somalia. And I'm sick of it as an American. They all have to go. You have to go. And you know who can be the captain of the boat? Ilhan Omar. Steven Crowder writes, I genuinely appreciate the hat tip, but I did not post this as breaking or new. I've run this on the show for years, as it's been public and verifiable for all to see. Also hilarious and disgusting. You see Valentina Gomez writing, this is full-on marriage fraud, immigration fraud, and everyone who is complicit should go to prison. It's crazy she made it to Congress and no one checked. George Santo did way less and he's in prison. I don't want her in prison. Just send her back to Somalia. Her and her husband brother should both be in Somalia. Her father was also some sort of militant in Somalia too. I mean, it's crazy that we're talking about this as being confirmed when most people in the know have known for years. Now, I swear, look, you guys know I keep it honest on this channel. When I don't know, I don't know. And like, I thought it was a joke. I legitimately thought it was a joke. Here we have marriage, February 12th, 2009, between Ahmed Nur Said Elmi, her brother, apparently, and Ilhan Omar. Like, first of all, dual citizenship absolutely has to go. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, how did they even get this license? Is it because somebody said Ahmed Narsed is not the same as Omar, so maybe we need to, we'll just let it go? No one bother looking into this? By the way, according to a tweet by Brandon Morello and reporting from the Daily Mail, her second husband found out that she was in fact cheating on him when he walked in and found her in her pajamas with her new husband. Her third husband also cheated on his wife, allegedly with Ilhan Omar. She's been married and divorced 3 times before 40. Ilhan Omar's husband discovered she was cheating on him with her chief fundraiser when she walked in on the lovers in pajamas. And now the congresswoman is having to pay her ex $250,000 for his silence. What did he think she was marrying? When Ilhan Omar had a secret affair, my husband for a year, wife claims that she sues to divorce radical Democrats' $250,000 aid, but Congresswoman said she is still married to her husband, a white guy. But what about her brother husband? Of course, President Trump criticized Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and her native country of Somalia in the wake of a failed attempt by our colleagues to censure her in the House Look, if she wants to say something heinous about Charlie Kirk, she's welcome to do so. I was not like big on, oh my girl, we need to censure her. That just, I didn't really care about that. It just doesn't matter to me. Like, I just being honest. Again, like I said, I'm not surprised when garbage people do garbage things. It does not surprise me in the least. So when these people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she said this. What do you mean? It's Ilhan Omar. She's married, to her brother. I wonder if they consummated the marriage. That would probably be a good question to ask, wouldn't it? I feel like it would be a good question to ask. Did they consummate? Because I'm curious if they did. Because if they didn't, then their marriage is no good, right? Their marriage is no good. 4 Republicans joined Democrats Wednesday to table the resolution, which would have also removed her from committees. U.S. Representative Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina, brought it forward because of an interview Omar did in response to conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination last week and reposts she made on social media. I mean, if there's anyone I'm more tired of than Ilhan Omar, it's Nancy Mace. Sorry, not sorry. She may be like your best option in, South Carolina or whatever. I respect that, but I'm really sick of influencer politicians. I'm going to totally show up in my pajamas to vote because I'm a social media whore. No, don't care. Nancy Mace is literally no different than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez crying at a fence in front of an empty parking lot in that way. The 4-term Congresswoman who represents Somalia, said in a note to constituents, I have never supported political violence, and I have always spoken out against it. I don't believe so. I don't believe she has. I haven't seen it. Attempts to twist my word into something that they are not are deeply harmful, not just to me, but to our ability to have honest debates in Congress. I mean, I just think she needs to go away. Like, if she really did commit immigration fraud, then she needs to go to prison. And I'm sick of our politicians, regardless of the D or the R in front of their name, basically just doing this stuff and laughing at us stupid Americans who have to live by laws that they don't have to. When you have people like Nancy Pelosi obviously using, in my opinion, insider information to enrich herself, how come she isn't prosecuted? By the way, how come what's Eye Patch McCain? Isn't he worth millions more now? Made big money on a Facebook investment or something. I may be mixing him up. There's plenty of Republicans that are doing it too. But us stupid idiots just put our money into a 401k and hope for the best. If we even get that. You know, I'm sick of people like Ilhan Omar who wears her face towel and she's supposed to represent America. This does not represent America. Ilhan Omar does not represent America. She said Charlie Kirk's legacy should be in the dustbin of history. Why? Because he wanted people to get married and have kids? I guess having kids is a little more difficult when you're banging your brother, but I don't really think that there's anything there not to celebrate. So if you didn't like his conservative values, okay, fine. Okay, fine. That's fine. But I mean, when you're talking about a guy who hasn't even been buried yet, saying his legacy belongs in the dustbin, you know, it's like when these people keep calling everyone else Nazis, they do that so that when they lose their lives to one of their lunatic followers, it's easy for them to pretend like it's no big deal. This broad married her brother. Why is she not in prison? Why? This is one of the things that I'm so sick and tired of with Republicans too. This has been handed to the Republicans for how many years now? On a silver platter, and they've done nothing. Sure, Ted Cruz and everyone else gets to go on TV and talk about it. How come this woman hasn't been charged? How come she hasn't been removed from her elected position? How come she's not in prison? Like, could anybody tell me that? Like, just like Ilhan Omar should be deported. Her brother should be deported. If she's not deported, she'd be in prison. She shouldn't be running any governmental position. She should be barred from that. I don't want Muslims running in my government. Sorry, not sorry. This is a Christian country. You can be Muslim here if you want, I guess, but you don't get to be in government. I don't want Sharia laws. I don't want Dearborn, Michigan, anywhere else. I don't want Minneapolis where there's like Somali town. I don't want that crap. I don't want to not be able to go to the mall after 7 o'clock because everyone just knows what it is. Deport her, put her in prison, or I'm going to start voting out Republicans too that don't do anything with this information. Hope you enjoyed. By the way, make sure if you haven't yet, you check out our coffee shop over on CBC, Charlie Bravo Charlie, CBCAmazon.com. Our entire summer collection is now up there in stock. Our blackberry cream is ridiculously good. Our blueberry cobbler, our fall flavors just arrived, all free overnight shipping. So if you've been buying from me any other way, it's going to automatically be $7 or $8 cheaper than it was on coffeebrandcoffee.com. Check it out, cbcamazon.com. And please do remember to go to, if you don't like coffee, you can support the show right now by going to thequartering.com/join and join our members Discord. We added 12 new members yesterday. I'm hoping we can add another 10 today and stay on task. Hot take, first-generation immigrants shouldn't be allowed to stand for office or vote in elections. Too many of them seem to be more loyal to their home country. I'd agree with that. I'd 100% agree with that. Let's go to this story. Dooby-doo, dooby-doo-boo-doo. Dooby-doo-boo-boo. Anybody out there join the Discord at thequartering.com/join? I hope you'll join today. I think we've had 3 people join today. The goal is 10 a day. So hopefully we'll get 7 people on this stream to take the plunge. Get in there and chat directly with me and everybody else. Wow, new channel, same old shit. Well, I mean, you're here. Oh, wait, you might not be talking about me. You might be talking about using that saying. Sorry. Hey, Raider. Thank you for gifting 5 Rumble Premium subs. Very cool. I finally heard back. I'm joining as soon as I have the link. Yes, I emailed everyone this morning. Join this morning. Nice, Aaron. Thank you. Have the left not carry out horrible crimes just for one day. Challenge, difficulty, impossible. So the meltdown to Jimmy Kimmel being fired has been wild. First of all, you have kind of the establishment media, like your mainstream media, your late night TV show hosts, your Hollywood people. I'm not talking about like far leftoid Antifa types. I'm talking about like the establishment continuing to promote this obvious lie that it was a First Amendment issue and that's why he was, it was a First Amendment issue. He was fired over. The FCC pressured him. We know now that that is simply not true. In fact, Variety reported last night that Jimmy Kimmel is currently in negotiations with Disney to get his show back. So if the FCC fired him, why is he negotiating with Disney? If Trump fired him, why is he negotiating with Disney? It was Disney who decided to fire him. And I have to believe that part of him coming back will involve a large pay cut. By the way, hope you appreciate the weekend videos. This is my Jeremy Hambly channel. It's my personal channel segment. And I hope that I can count on your support in one of 2 ways. either by going to cbcamazon.com and picking up some of our delicious coffee. Our blackberry cream is ridiculously good. Blueberry cobbler. All of our fall roasts are in. Spiked jack-o'-lantern, maple cream. Our non-flavored, our double caffeinated, our decaf. Everything's in stock and shipping free overnight. Or if you're not a coffee person, by going to thequartering.com/join. Join our members Discord. It's $6. It's as little as $5 if you join for the year. And you can talk directly to me and all your fellow viewers. And I hope that 7 people watching this video right now can and will join or pick up some coffee today. Shots fired at ABC News Station.
Officers responded to reports of shots fired in the 400 block of Broadway at ABC 10. When officers got here, they did observe that the building had been struck by at least one bullet in the window.
I can see 3 right there.
The building was occupied, and fortunately, nobody was injured. At this time, I do not have any suspect information to release, and I don't know a motive, right? I don't know if this was targeted or if this was a random act, but what I can tell you is our detectives are on scene.
It was targeted, it was a leftoid, and it was over Jimmy Kimmel, in my opinion. See, that's the difference between Jimmy Kimmel and me. I don't know that for a fact, so I'm not going to lie to my audience and say, oh, it was definitely a leftoid. I don't know that definitely. But I do know that it was the day after, or 2 days after Jimmy Kimmel got fired, and it was an ABC News place. So it seems unlikely it was gang related or drug related or anything like that. An ABC television station was hit by gunfire Friday afternoon, just one day after protesters gathered outside that same building and rallied against the network's decision to pull Jimmy Kimmel. So it was a leftoid. There's more evidence of it, right? There's more evidence of it. So there was a protest there the day before about Jimmy Kimmel, and then someone drove by the next morning and fired shots through the building while people were inside. No injuries reported, but the shots hit a window that faces the street, and people were inside at the time. We haven't had a lot of attacks on our media partners, and we'd like to keep it that way, Officer Anthony Gamble of Sacramento Police said. To those who have been responsible for this, I hope you see this. We're not going to stop looking for you. This is unacceptable behavior. It's not going to be tolerated in Sacramento. I thought Sacramento was a nice town. I guess locals say that area is the hood, though. I thought Sacramento was nice. I mean, I don't think that it's that crazy of a jump to say that this was because of the Jimmy Kimmel, taking Jimmy Kimmel off there, because it was the next day after a protest. I'm being informed in real time by my viewers that Sacramento is in fact not nice. I didn't know. I thought it was nice. I thought don't they have like the fancy hill there? Isn't that where like the TGIF show? What was the TGIF show that the Danny Tanners? Didn't the Tanners live in San Francisco? I thought it was nice there. Can't think of that show. Why can't I think of that? Full House? Is it called Full House? Full House. Doo-ba-doo-bop-ba-dow. Wasn't that? Didn't they live in San Francisco? That looked pretty nice. I guess that was a long time ago. The gunfire was reported at 1 in the afternoon, just 24 hours after 15 people gathered outside to protest the suspension of Kimmel. So this was definitely connected to Kimmel, in my opinion. Oh, they lived in San Francisco, and not Sacramento. Sorry. Yeah. All of our employees are safe and unarmed. I mean, this is over pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Jimmy Kimmel. When they find out who did this, and I'm sure there'll be some security camera that shows the car that drove by, I'm sure that they're going to find this person, and they're going to be a leftoid. I'm 100% sure of it. Well, I guess I'll say 99% sure. It could be random gang thing, but why the news station? Jimmy Kimmel looked tense as he emerged for the first time since his show was canceled following backlash over comments made about Charlie Kirk's assassination. On the air Monday, we all know what he said. Here's his face. I mean, I don't know. He always looks like that. He doesn't look that tense. He seems to be smiling here. The late night show host had also poked fun at Donald Trump's reaction, saying, "This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend." He said, "This is how a 4-year-old grieves a goldfish." Hollywood unions, SAG-AFTRA and WGA, showed their support for Kimmel, who is a member of both, in light of the news. SAG-AFTRA condemns the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Our society depends on freedom of expression. But again, this is what the left keeps saying, like the mainstream left. They keep saying, but Normie, didn't you know this was a freedom of speech issue? No, he did not say, in my opinion, MAGA did this. He stated as fact that a Trump supporter took the life of Charlie Kirk. He then refused to correct that fact the next day. That's not freedom of speech. That's just spreading misinformation. And you are not allowed to do so while on public broadcasting. I suppose you could probably do so if you were on Netflix or Hulu or something like that. You know? The Writers Guild of America, West said, the right to speak our minds and disagree with each other, to disturb even, is at the very heart of what it means to be a free people. Aren't these the same people that, told you that, tried to cancel Sydney Sweeney for being tangentially a Trump supporter? Aren't these the same people? I'm pretty sure it's the same people. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure it's the same people who want you fired for being a Trump supporter. Now they're like, my free speech, my freedom of speech. Hundreds protest outside of Disney headquarters over, quote, un-American Kimmel suspension. Every one of these people either are knowingly lying or they believe the fact that it was just it's a freedom of speech thing to use American public airwaves to spread misinformation that will get more people hurt. The Mickey Mouse logo is all over Walt Disney's headquarters in Burbank, California. But on Thursday, those famous heroes were on display outside of the studio, calling them cowards. Disney, which owns ABC, indefinitely suspended Kimmel's show on Wednesday. You know what's interesting to me? Let's say you were really going to have the American flag upside down, and you think that Jimmy Kimmel is part of the revolution? Look, there are things that Trump says that are verifiably false, and I will call those out. But the thing that, when we talk about the left, right? They lie all the time. They're just like, what? Consequences? ABC bent the knee down with the FCC. Again, the FCC had nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it. I'm with Jimmy. Do the right thing, ABC. Don't these people have jobs? The left have entire NGOs whose only function is to cancel right-wingers. That's just a fact. I don't like cancel culture, but this is not. This is accountability culture, right? And honestly, we're not going back. You could maybe say it was cancel culture if Jimmy Kimmel were getting canceled or fired over his past use of blackface or the N-word or objectification of women. But these are people who are in real time reacting to something that he's doing, and he's lying. This is not a freedom of speech issue. I went to a protest at Disney over Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. It wasn't just about one comedian. Yeah, everybody there believes it's a freedom of speech issue, which it wasn't. And to be totally honest with you, it was a money issue. His ratings had been tanking, and his bosses took the opportunity to clean house and get out of his $40 million a year loss. Remember that his boss's company wants a $6 billion merger to go through under the Trump administration. So if anything else, it was about that too. The people that are out there protesting are probably paid to be there. The people who are firing looks like a 223 maybe through the window. Pretty good grouping, to be honest with you, while you're driving. These people are terrorists. That's I don't know any other way to describe them. Do you? I don't. And their violence will only continue. I'm praying for everybody's safety Sunday at Charlie Kirk's funeral. I'll be, covering it that day, probably be live streaming it. And it's absolutely insane. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon. Some super chats. The goal is for 10 yellows on YouTube today. We got our first one in. That is, we are all Charlie. Expose the insanity that brought us here every day. That's from Grofty. Oh, hey, Grofty. Over on Rumble, Dave says, Sacramento local here. That is the hood. And no, Sacramento isn't nice, except for a couple of parts on the east side of town. There are some very nice and very conservative suburbs in Placer County, though. Okay, shout out. Asright wrote, get the blueberry cobbler. It's worth it. Yes, I think it's our best flavor. Although Tiger's Blood and Blackberry Cream, I think, are selling really well, and they're going to end up being regular flavors for us. By the way, I made my... Do you guys remember when we were having the knife chat? Remember when we were having the knife chat? I couldn't decide, so I bought them both, and they finally got here today. Well, they got here yesterday, but I opened them today. So this is the one I got. This is their folding. I don't know. Can I show these? I assume I can show these. I don't know why I couldn't. So this is a lot bigger than I thought. This is the Amadeus. It's much bigger than I thought. But not too shabby. It seems like it's spring assisted. So I got that for EDC. But I also got the Infidel, which I like better. But I couldn't really decide because I was worried that the Infidel would be too small in my hand. That's what she said. This is the Infidel. And it definitely fits my hand just fine. Fits my hand just fine. So I'm pretty happy with my purchases. I may send back the Adamas just because I don't think I need two. And they're not cheap. But then you still need a fixed blade. Yeah, I do kind of. I wanted to like feel them in my hand, you know? Oh yeah, they're both Benchmade. I don't know what what a good fixed blade is. I need to do some research on that. I'm not ready to go down that rabbit hole yet. But I like that they're made in America. Just joined a secret stream. What I missed. Not too much. Get the Switch side OTF. Well, I need these were a lot of money, so I need to, you know, maybe for Christmas. I feel pretty good with the OTF. I like this. I like the feel of this thing. You know? And I like that you just put it in your pocket, down like that, pull it out. And I was worried like, oh, is this gonna have like a hair trigger? But you have to really push it forward, you know, to get it to pop out. And it is razor sharp. I like that. A lot. Will I be ready to go down that rabbit hole tomorrow? No, I mean, this was a lot of money. I gotta wait. I gotta wait maybe for Christmas. But I mean, maybe I could pick it out tomorrow. We could talk about it in the Discord. Wu T Bear says, Jeremy, found you back in the pre-cancellation unsleeved media days. Even Lotus Eater's crew even mentioned regularly. Keep crushing. Thank you. Very cool. Yeah. I had no idea how much you could spend on a knife. So I need to wait a little bit. The constant sniffing is gross and annoying. I have a little bit of nasal drip today because I was outside. My allergies are bugging me. So sorry. Maybe that's better. I have Dad's K-bar from Vietnam. Carry while hunting. Yeah, that's the thing about a fixed blade. Like, open carrying them is nice. BM is very overpriced for what you get. Sure, probably. I know that a lot of people have a lot of really big, like, especially when it gets to like carry information, people are really passionate. I get that. But you know, I wanted to grab this other thing. See if there's anything new. Yeah, this is a spooky story. All right, here we go. I started carrying my 32 since Kirk was being shot. I have a concealed permit. Yeah, Benchmade makes a model like that. I'm not sure what Jeremy has. I have the Infidel and the Adamas. A. Steinman, thank you. If I remember, the Adamas is an axis lock, not assisted. I don't believe Benchmade makes spring assisted. Autos, yes, but not spring assisted. When the Adamas breaks in, you can flick it, and it's a fun fidget spinner. Okay, you're right. I remember reading that. That's not a knife, that's a toothpick. I don't know. I think that would do a lot of damage. I think that would be all I would need. Infidel is a solid EDC. The only OTF I like better is Microtech. Yeah. See ya, Tyler. See ya, Cubby. All right, so we got more news here. Need to buy the Predator knife replica? I'm not sure what that is. But it sounds boss. We need to talk about this guy that was arrested. Wait a minute, there's an Ed Gein story on Netflix. Monster, the Ed Gein story. Ooh, I might watch this tonight. Shout out Wisconsin. Shout out Wisconsin. That's what I'm watching tonight. A knife is not a defensive weapon. I mean, it's not as good as a gun. I'll agree with that. Sure. I don't see live shows often, but you've been killing it with the standalones. Yeah, I would expect the standalones to slow down a little bit this week. What about Mace? I mean, Mace is better than nothing. I actually like Mace better than I like a knife, to be honest with you. Like a good can of Mace, I don't know, is it gay for a guy to carry Mace? I feel like there's a stigma, like only women should carry Mace. But like, I think that Mace is incredibly powerful and it's effective at distance. You don't need to be like a knife. You need to be right up on somebody. Like Mace, somebody 15 feet away, you can neutralize a threat and before they ever get close. And to be honest with you, I don't know how like the laws work or whatever, but like you mace somebody and maybe you're a little wrong, you're not going to be going to prison for attempted murder. You know what I mean? Like, I see people macing people all the time, and I don't see anybody really going to jail. I've been looking at a carry mace, like a small compressed mace thing. I don't know if anybody makes like a, my wife gets one from like Cabela's, but I mean, you get a gel mace and you get somebody who's like 20 feet away, you just pull that thing out and you blast it. They're not going anywhere. If you do a gel, then you're probably not getting any back on you either. You know? Come on, Jeremy, we can't shout out Wisconsin for Ed Gein. That'd be like shouting out for John. Me shouting out for John Cage. I'm just saying, shout out. You know, when I was in high school, all the kids in bands took graphics class because it was like an easy A. And we would all print like stickers for our guitar cases and stuff. And I still have the sticker on my guitar case that says, you know, in Wisconsin, we eat people. And it has like a bite out of the state of Wisconsin. And then it's got Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein on there. How can I join the discount if I'm already a Rumble Premium member through Cutter? You got to email me at thequartering@gmail.com. Show proof you're a premium member, and then I will help you out. Yeah, shout out Ed. Buy UDAP mace. It's the highest powerful mace on the market. UDAP. I feel like I'd want a gel, though. See, but these are so big. My problem is, like, I want something I can carry in my, like, pocket or something like that. These cans are huge. Oh no, these are smaller. Okay. Yeah. Mugger fogger. Like you put one of this in, like you put this in your pocket just in case, if you know you're going in a hot space or something like that. 2 to 3 ounce can, yeah. Jeremy, I find the best all-purpose EDC knife is my U.S. military, Marine Corps, sorry, K-bar. Nice. Peace of mind is a great option, stronger than what the cops carry. Gel doesn't have the instant hit. Stream is instant. Fog is limited. Oh, yeah. Peace of mind. Yeah. All right, I'll look into it. I'll get some of that. Oh, yeah. See, that's a nice small can. I think people sleep on mace, and they're like, oh man, we got to go to, I got to care. Like mace would probably handle 90% of self-defense situations. Get a CO2 paintball gun that shoots pepper ball rounds. I have one. I got sent one from a sponsor and it's laying around here somewhere. I would never carry it though. Like I'll just carry, if I'm going to carry a gun, I'm going to carry a gun. But I could get some OC spray, you know? Nathan says, I'm unpacking my house for my military move. Your podcast is a lifesaver. I've got so much work to do before 6 a.m. when I fly out to go get my family. Well, I'm glad you're here. Stay working. Get after it. Mace is better than a taser. Oh, for sure. 100%. Pneumatic Archer says, spicy spray is only good if the wind is right. I carry a shoddy over bear spray for Grizz defense for that reason. Yeah, I mean, if I'm out in the wilderness, I'll just open carry. I'm not worried about a little can of pepper spray. You know? I'm talking about if you're, you know, going downtown, you're taking the wife to the city for dinner at a fancy restaurant, you want some bum hassling you. McCloud says the worst it could get you with is a misdemeanor with the mace. Both gun and knife can land you with an assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, that's fine. POM's a good brand. All right, I saved it. I'll get some. Do they sell it at Cabela's? Or do I need to buy the... Nice flip top technology. Okay. Palm pepper spray designed to have on a keychain. It has good safety to prevent accidental discharge. Okay. They sell it right on Amazon. Okay. Well, I'm looking at their actual website, but let's get to this. Go back here. Watched Giant Spider Invasion last night. What's that? A movie? Simon says, Jeremy, keep both knives. EDC world. 1 equal none. 2 equals 1. Yeah, that's probably true. Billy, I'm from Illinois, and did you see ICE using mace on the woman in front of the ICE facility? Yeah, somebody said she was like a Democratic congressperson or something like that. Berna is a joke. Well, they paid me to do an ad read, and I think they sold exactly 0 guns, and they canceled. Mostly because I told them, I'm like, my viewers are going to say, why would I carry that when I could carry a gun? But it is what it is. Wouldn't be bad to have in the house, maybe, but if you're in my house, you're catching lead, not pepper. Well, Nanakat says, you see how 4chan is responding to H-1B rules? They're reserving fights from India to drive up the ticket price. Reserving flights to drive up ticket price from India. I love that. Ruby Reed says, I've been a lurker for a while, and what happened to Charlie inspired me to go to daily mass and exercise daily. Wow. You went balls deep, or boobs deep, I guess, if you're a girl. Your videos help me stay sane as I try to reach 10,000 steps a day. Well, normally I wouldn't say to go that hard from Jump Street, but good for you. Giant Spider Invasion is a 70s film made entirely in Wisconsin. Oh, okay. Shout out. I'm trying a new church tonight. We'll see. I mean, I'm trying to find the one that I like. Any kind of actual pepper spray is made with real peppers. I mean, I think the pepper spray is a fine first option unless you're for sure it's a life or death situation. Most of the situations I've had is like I'm not worried about them having a gun, and pepper spray would be a fine option for me. All right, let's get into this. Very spooky stuff, as now the mainstream media is trying to get at some more information. An armed man posing as law enforcement arrested at Arizona Stadium, where Charlie Kirk's memorial is to be held. I mean, everyone's calling it a funeral, but it's technically a memorial. I don't know what to think about this. Is it because I made a video about this on my main channel, but we're going to go into a little more of the weeds on this channel. This is my Jeremy Hambley channel segment. It's a segment for that channel. It's more casual, more unfiltered. By the way, thanks everyone who's being awesome and joining our Discord, thequartering.com/join. Subscribing to the channel is all I can ever ask and be thankful for, but checking that out, you get to talk directly to me and everyone else in the community, or people that are going to CBC Amazon. Our full product lineup is now available on Amazon, which means you get all of our Coffee Brand coffee free overnight shipping. And it's just, if you already bought from me on coffeebrandcoffee.com, you're saving like $8 a bag because now you don't have to pay for shipping. We have our blackberry cream. I can highly recommend blueberry cobbler. Our fall flavors are fully in stock there too. There's only 16 left of the maple cream right now. There's more on the way. We have our 5-pound bags, all of our K-Cups, all that kind of stuff too. So definitely glad you're supporting there. This is crazy. I wonder if this is a regular mega person or a Groiper mega person. But an armed man posing as law enforcement arrested at Arizona Stadium. Now, could it have been a deranged person who impersonates law officers? I don't know if you guys knew that, but that is actually a thing. Like, a lot of people get arrested every year. Order the cocoa. By the way, the cocoa is getting sent. Chat just said, hey, get the cocoa. I'm also sending a real cacao cocoa there. So that'll be there probably by the end of the month too. But anyway, there are a lot of people every year that get arrested for impersonating a police officer. And they're usually like people who are in the ROTC, or they like fetishize being a cop, or, I don't know why so many people seem to do that. But it is a thing. I'm really hoping, but now we have some information. Now we have a name. And I wonder if this person was the same person who was at Charlie Kirk's rally impersonating an officer. I wonder if we have a picture yet. I'm trying to get a picture. Hold on a second. We now know his name is Joshua Runkles. So it's not, here, a breaking Fox News, Arizona officials have charged Joshua Runkles with impersonating a law enforcement officer inside the Charlie Kirk Memorial venue. Here is apparently his picture. No, let's not say that. That is not his picture. That's an old picture. What's the story on this Joshua Runkles guy? I figured you guys would all have his life story and address by now. Yeah, I mean, this is scary. Was this guy a leftist? Security theater just got real. An alleged fake cop who was armed with a knife and a gun at the Kirk Memorial is exactly why Secret Service treats this like the Super Bowl. Motive to be determined, charges filed, vigilance up. Now, I will say this. It's great. Like, first you could look at it and say, oh man, this is scary. But also you could look at it and say, hey, they got this guy. This guy, we don't know what his motive was, but that I think is, to be determined. And when I get that, I'll probably upload that on my main channel because that's going to be like massive news. But if it turns out this guy was just some cop obsessed person who wanted to be around, he thought it would be a good place because there'd be so many cops there, he could get in. Obviously he still needs to be arrested. If it turns out he was a leftist, oh boy. If this is him, this is unconfirmed, okay? This is what he looked like. This looks like a leftist to me. Doesn't it? If this is him, Joshua Patrick Runkles, booked in 9/20 at 6 a.m. for impersonating a peace officer and carrying a weapon in a prohibited place. I mean, a picture of the alleged armed man arrested at Charlie Kirk funeral. I want to put this out really quick, even while I'm recording this. Impersonating an officer. Looks Antifa to me. No? If this is them. If photo is correct. I'll put that out right now. Doesn't look anything like a cop to me. I can tell you that much. It looks like a leftoid. If that's him, that looks like a leftoid to me. No wonder they sussed him out. He looks like an Antifa guy. Is this Joshua Runkles? He, him, BioStrong indicator. So the internet's already looking. I don't want to like point to anybody exactly right away. We don't know. We know Joshua Runkles for impersonating a cop at Charlie Kirk's Memorial's Peak Circus. The whole event looks like less like a tribute and more like a clown show with fake badges. Well, I don't know about that. I'm glad they got the guy. Now, I don't know if that's him. But if that is, it does not look like anybody. Runkles, 42, told Secret Service agents he was at the site to provide private security and handed them an inactive law enforcement credentials. The official reportedly told the outlet. Now, maybe it's just a crazy person who was a big fan of Charlie Kirk and wanted to be there and like be a part of it. Because again, there are people out there who like are obsessed with, being a police officer and impersonating them. He was taken into custody by the Arizona Department of Public Safety and booked in Maricopa County Jail on charges of impersonating a law officer, which is a felony in Arizona, carrying a weapon in a prohibited place, which matches the picture we saw, which is a misdemeanor, according to Brett Graves. He has since been released on bond, but an investigation is ongoing to determine his intent and purpose at the stadium. Why would you release him? I can only hope that they realized that this guy was just being a dork and that he wasn't there to cause any problems. Maybe he really was a former cop who is on hard times and he has mental health issues. Maybe. But if there was any incident, if there was any indication that they knew this guy might potentially be a threat, why on earth would you have released him? If you would not release him until you determine his intent, I would think, right? Runkle's background wasn't immediately clear, but a federal source familiar with the matter previously told Fox News Digital that the suspect is, quote, a former deputy sheriff out of Idaho. Okay, so there you go. So he is a former cop. The suspect is a former deputy sheriff out of Idaho. A federal source familiar with the matter told Fox News Digital they're going through his background and trying to figure out what he was doing up there. Now, that just because you're a former cop doesn't mean you're not a leftoid. It doesn't mean you're not a leftoid. Right? It doesn't mean that. My guess, mentally ill guy was there to help in his own mind. I'm guessing they probably thought they probably figured that that's what it was and that's why they let him go. I'm guessing. Runkles allegedly made it into the stadium prior to the setup of any secure perimeter. Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi told Fox News Digital the Secret Service is in coordination with the local law enforcement in Glendale, Arizona. It is investigating an individual who observed exhibiting suspicious behavior at the stadium. Now, again, the good news is here, they found him, sussed him out, and, got rid of him. Violated probation in January. People are saying chronic criminal. He could be just, the problem is there's a lot of people in this country with mental illness. I'm going to use my live stream chat to weaponize autism here in the best way possible and try and find out more. But this is probably just a crazy person who wasn't there to hurt Charlie Kirk. I'm guessing. I'm hoping. I'm guessing. Remember it wasn't that long ago that they just found an illegal immigrant who was a police officer. You know what I mean? He looks more like Antifa, but he could just be mentally ill. There's people on the right that look a lot like this too. So I don't know. But I'm glad they found him. I'm glad they sussed him out. I'm glad they kicked him out. I'm glad that he was arrested. All of these things, because there is now said to be 100,000 people, including 2 planes full of White House staff, are set to attend Charlie Kirk's memorial service on Sunday. Pray for Charlie Kirk's family. Rest in peace. Well, I'm praying for everyone who's going there too. I'm praying for everyone who's going there for their safety. I'll be praying tonight in church for that specifically. But they still have another 24 hours to get the scene secured, get everybody out. I'm hoping that that's the case. Let's not forget President Trump is going to be there. JD Vance is going to be there. The country's on high alert from, there's some potential Terry chatter that Laura Loomer reported on. So it's going to be interesting. I'll keep it locked in on this channel and my main channel. I will be reporting as new information comes out. You can help the channel just by subscribing. That's all I could ever ask. Thanks to everyone who joined the Discord or picked up some coffee too. Your support is greatly appreciated. What do we think? What do we think, boys and girls? I think just a crazy guy who had a law enforcement fetish. That's where my head is right now. That's he was just, hey, this is an opportunity. Because he was a former cop, he's not like some radicalized furry trans person. that much we know is probably true. I think it's former deputy, like they said, that lost his mind. Don't think it's a huge deal, but still. That's kind of where I'm at. I got to be honest with you. Pat the plumber says, Jeremy, can you call Alex and tell him to stop sharing the video of Charlie's neck exploding? I'm going to have to block the guy. I don't want to. It's disrespectful. Alex who? Jones or Stein? Yeah, I started I blocked a lot of people or muted them. Like Candace Owens, I muted her. Like, I don't need you. Like, Charlie was my best friend ever in history. Well, I'm not going to go to his funeral, though. I'm not going to go to the event honoring him. He was my best friend. Was he, though? Because you're shitting all over his legacy to press your Israel stuff. And again, I'm not saying that Israel is free from, criticism. Okay, but Candace Owens has gone nuts. I don't even show, like, my thumbnail guy. I'm like, don't put any more pictures of Charlie at the event in the thumbnails. You could use Charlie, but no more. I don't want to, like, it's important to remember, but I don't need to be reminded every day. There's tons of body cam videos. People are sharing overly morbid videos. It's fine to show parts for the context, but we don't need to see the snuff on repeat. That's how I am too. Oh, Alex Jones. Okay. Well, Alex probably isn't going to listen to me, but yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think Candace Owens is probably losing that Brigitte Macron lawsuit. I got to be honest with you. If Brigitte is willing to whip out her vagina in court and provide DNA evidence, she's losing that lawsuit. And I thought she went too far with the Brigitte. I found it entertaining, but I was like, girl, you better be right. I think she's almost certainly losing that lawsuit. Like bigly, she's going to lose a big lawsuit. And I thought, okay, well, we all make mistakes, but she kept doubling and tripling down. And then I also think like her grifting on, I think it's totally within bounds to cover, everything with Charlie Kirk, but I feel like her and Ian are not really interested in covering Charlie Kirk so much as they are using his dead body as a cudgel against Israel, which is gross. I hear if you say it was the Jews 3 times in a row, Candace Owens appears like Beetlejuice. Look, the Israeli government is involved in a lot of garbage that I don't like or support. But, I mean, I think also knowing how close Charlie was with Israel and the Jewish people, like, to be using him in this manner is gross. That's just my opinion, Like Ian Carroll out there, like, well, Erica won't publicly address my fucking crazy conspiracy theories. Like, I actually have a video on this, so maybe we can just go to it. I like when you say cudgel. Am I not using that right? Am I not using that word right? I'm not very smart. By the way, thanks everyone on YouTube who's super chatting. We're at 6 out of 10 yellows for the day. Hopefully we can hit that goal. I'm thankful. Thank everyone on Twitch who is subscribing. If you're a Twitch viewer, you can subscribe for free if you're an Amazon member, or if you subscribe on Twitch, that's a way to support the channel. And thank you everybody on Rumble who's Rumble ranting, and and everyone who's joining the Discord. I wonder, have we got to 10 yet? Let's see. We were at 3 when I started the show. I'm just trying to get 10 a day. 10 a day will give me what? 50 a week, not including weekends, or 200 a month. That would be incredible. 100 a month is actually a fine growth number, but you need 200 probably to cover all the people who are canceling. Like, people cancel. So probably like you want to really aim for like 150 a month if you want to keep 100. You are grifting just like the rest of them. No, see, there's where I 100% disagree with you. To grift, you have to be lying. And I'm covering all aspects of this case, and I'm not making up fake narratives. You know, nobody cares about your grift. Just put the content in the bag. What is September 21, 2, 3? Oh, still only at 3. We've added nobody? Damn, players. Okay. It's a long day yet. Maybe it takes a while to update too. Let's see. Ian Carroll's, I think Ian's a Fed. That's my opinion. He came out of nowhere, completely nowhere, and he was completely astroturfed, and his one purpose has been to divide the right. So if you think, is that something that, you know, the deep state would do? I think so. Pool Hall says, whatever happened to Trillium? I mean, I have no good news for the non-grift. Thank you, Mighty Pete. I have no good news on Trillium. I don't want to be disrespectful, but from what I know, her mom died, and I know that she was incredibly close to her mom, and I think she had a mental breakdown, and I know she did, and she like shaved her head, and I think she went into like treatment, and I have no way of getting a hold of her. She deleted all of her channels. I'm sending love her way. I would wish she would email me or reach out. I would love to help her. But the last video I saw, she had like shaved her head, and she talked about being in treatment, and she was like living in New York. And then I was like, oh, what happened? And I'm like, oh, her mom died. I just know how close she was with her mom. Yeah, I know I spelled burying wrong. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, member Grafty. Very cool. Anyway, this is boring. Would rather watch paint dry. Okay. Take it easy. Have a good day. All right, let's talk about this news. Yeah, Asman lost his mom and his dad in like well, his mom was a little while longer ago, I suppose, but not really. He's lost his mom and his dad within 5 years. Repair genius, repairing us. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. Very cool. All right. Let's talk about this blob. Is Milo coming back? He mentioned something when Charlie was assassinated. That's what I heard. Please don't DSP subscriptions. What's that mean? I would never gate. I'm going to end my stream when I end it. I still have a goal, though. It's okay to have a goal. Look, I think it's 100% in bounds to make as many videos or tweets or whatever you want about everything that's going on with Charlie Kirk, because I don't think I could even say culture war anymore. I would more so say an actual war. They keep trying to take our lives, the left, and we keep saying, well, that's those crazy lefties. Then they go after Trump, not once, but twice. They go after Charlie Kirk successfully. Who knows who else? You know, they attack our vigils, you know, all this kind of stuff. But I also think it's important part of me, the core of what a lot of content that I used to make and I love to make is my favorite content is hypocrisy. And there are several people out there right now who are throwing themselves on Charlie Kirk's coffin. Look, I never said I was best friends with Charlie. You haven't seen me like crying about Charlie. Yes, it sucks, but I didn't know him. I can't fake an emotion I don't have. The only emotion that I have with what happened to Charlie is fear. And I guess there is this kind of overarching sorrow for his family and his children, the way I would have for any human being. but I didn't know him. I'm not producing my episodes crying and saying, he was my best friend, and then not going to his funeral and then using his name to disparage his past. I'm not going on Fox News like this loser, in my opinion, pretending to care about Charlie Kirk when your entire history has been insulting him. There are people like Ian Carroll who's just asking questions, but every time, he's like, oh, I really care about Charlie Kirk. I really care. Here he is saying, and you've dedicated your life to serving the people who killed him, the Jews. Okay, so Ian Carroll doesn't give two ripping craps about Charlie Kirk's death. He only cares that it's another angle of attack for him to talk about the Jewish government and Israel. Look, again, I think that Israel is far too involved in our government, especially with our political leaders. I don't like AIPAC. I don't like any foreign government involved in our government. Do I think Israel is up to shenanigans? Yes. Do I think they have anything to do with Charlie Kirk? No. And do I think using Charlie Kirk as an angle of attack for Israel is gross? Yes, because Charlie loved Israel. For better or worse, he loved Israel. And, for these people to be like, oh, Charlie, oh, like Ian Carroll made a career of disparaging Charlie Kirk. And now he's like, oh, but guys, we got to get to the bottom of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Well, here's an even worse example. This is a 2-minute Jesse Waters cameo. From a 2-minute Jesse Waters cameo to calling Charlie Kirk a martyr while fake praying as a, quote, self-proclaimed witch, which this woman is, Carolyn has turned his death into a clout machine. The real question is, what did she say to him before he died? Buckle up, because it's ugly. And I love making these videos. These things, by the way, this is my Jeremy Hambly channel. I don't do a lot of personal beefs on the main channel anymore, but I can promise you I will be doing them on this channel. So please do subscribe. This is Carolyn Borisenko or whatever, I believe. She is a fringe personality that came about during kind of the early Gamergate anti-woke nonsense. Okay. Now she has proclaimed, by the way, that she is a witch in the past. She gloated about Charlie Kirk, that Charlie Kirk's downfall is going to be epic. It might take years, but it's coming. So here's Carolyn Borisenko, again, got platformed on Jesse Waters, pretends to pray, cries about Charlie Kirk, while as early as a month ago, I'm not unearthing tweets from 10 years ago. This is from August 8th, 2025. It is 1 month and 12 days ago. Talking about Charlie Kirk's downfall. I also think, look at her profile picture. I always like doing this. Look at her profile picture. Okay. This is her profile picture. This is her actual picture. Okay. When people lie about how they look, this is everything, lie about everything. By the way, thank you, Mick Mac, over on Twitch for subscribing with Prime. Very cool. Her direct words to Charlie Kirk. F off, you warmongering shill, to Charlie Kirk. Again, this is not a 10-year-old tweet. This is a tweet from June 21st, 2025. Again, on Jesse Waters just a day ago, crying and calling Charlie Kirk a martyr. This is why I hate these people. And this is why I save these types of videos for the Jeremy Hambly channel. A lot of people say, Jeremy, Ian Carroll does good work. I don't give a crap. Okay? I see him for what he's doing. By the way, you might like Candace Owens. That's fine. I'm not saying you have to not watch Candace Owens. I'm not saying you should cancel Candace Owens. But I know exactly what she's doing. Okay? I see her. All right? And with all of her righteous indignation, they killed my friend. She's not even bothering going to her funeral. Okay? She wasn't invited to his private funeral either. She wasn't invited to his funeral because she hadn't been friends with Charlie Kirk in a very long time. But here she is courting Charlie Kirk's viewers, saying, he was my best friend. They took him from me. And now I'm going to use his death to profiteer. I see you, Candace. I see you, Caroline Borisenko. I see you, Ian Carroll. I don't care what good work you've done anywhere else. You are frauds and you're using his death. And it is so blatant. Again, I'm not up here crying, saying I knew Charlie Kirk personally. I'm not going on Fox News saying anything. I'm just going about my business like I would anybody else. And I don't have any problem with people making videos about Charlie Kirk. I don't have any problems with people having their own theories about Charlie Kirk. That doesn't mean I, as a 42-year-old man who's been doing this longer than all of them, okay? I've been doing this longer than Candace, longer than Caroline Borisenko, and way longer than Fed implant Ian Carroll, okay? I see people online. All right, I see you. You were calling him a shill a month ago, and now you're on Fox News talking about, oh my God, oh, heavens to Betsy, Charlie Kirk. You are low down, dirty scum. Garbage human. You are a sociopath. And anybody that supports you and says, but Jeremy, okay, fine. Here's what you have to assume. You're going to have to assume that I just know people better than you, because I do. I know people like this, I'll say, better than anybody. Do you guys know how long I've been making YouTube videos? How long I've been interacting with people like this? 15 years. I had one of the original YouTube channels where you couldn't even change, where before it ever had monetization. Okay, I've been on YouTube for something like 20 years. I know these people. I know them. You don't, because you don't interact with them every day. So take my word for it. Caroline Borisenko doesn't give two craps about Charlie Kirk. Ian Carroll doesn't either, and neither, sadly, does Candace Owens. Because even though I believe him and her were friends at one time, she doesn't give two rips about his death. She doesn't care. This Caroline Borisenko, she never this is a flippin' month ago. She's calling him a shill and calling for his downfall. Now she's faking Jesus Christ himself. Jesus is fake. Stop falling for a Jewish psyop. 8/31/2025. 3 weeks ago. Fox platforms her. She gives a crap about Charlie Kirk, whose mission was sharing the word of Jesus Christ. Her claim, Kirk lies to his audience because he doesn't bother with the fact checks, attacking his integrity for clout. This is all this year, by the way. Here's a tweet. Charlie Kirk isn't even the most tarded person on the internet today. Here's another tweet. I keep telling you guys that the far left activists I record, she doesn't record anybody, and try to show you going to get violent. Prayers for Charlie Kirk. I really hope he's okay. This is the tweet after months of mocking him. She was mocking him 2 weeks before this, but now she's worried about him. She saw money. Here's her real picture, by the way. She mocked Charlie Kirk's faith as a Jewish psyop, sneered at him, hurled slurs, called him a liar, a shill, and gloated over his downfall. Now she calls him a martyr and offers fake prayers. She didn't honor Kirk in life, and she's exploiting him in death. Couldn't have said it more. Couldn't have said it better myself. This woman never cared about Charlie Kirk, and if you see her talking about him, you should let her know that. Ian Carroll never gave a crap. I don't care how many Pakistani bots this guy has propping up his X account. There's a reason that he doesn't get any traffic on YouTube and other video platforms, because they're harder to bot. This guy is a astroturfed asset, in my opinion. His entire purpose is to divide the entire right between Israel and not Israel. Instead of talking about, does this guy give a damn about the far left that took Charlie Kirk's life? Nope. He doesn't care about that. He cares about Israel and money. Again, you've dedicated your life to serving the people who killed Jesus. He didn't like Charlie Kirk. He never did. Caroline Borisenko never did either. And Candace Owens is appearing like it's been a long time since she gave a damn. These people are vile and they should be publicly called out. Just my opinion. What's up, dear? I'm live right now, though. You can talk, though. What's up? Okay, yes, I want some spider plants. Thank you, dear. You're responsible for watering them, though. Okay. My wife brought me spider plants. They're good for filtering the air, she said. I'm so sick of these people. Like, I don't give a shit if people unsubscribe over it. I don't care. I don't care. These people don't actually give a shit about Charlie Kirk. And again, you could say, but Jeremy, you didn't know Charlie. You're damn right I didn't. And name a single, show a video where I said I knew him or where I fake cried about it. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. Would him getting assassinated affected me no different emotionally than if it had been Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh? He was a peer, so it hit different. But I mean, we weren't obviously even on the same level, you know. But I mean, we started out in the same kind of humble beginnings, and you know, he was an incredible person, a businessman, a good husband and father from everything we know. But like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm up at night thinking about it because I didn't know him. Like, well, however Candace Owens justifies her behavior to with this is actually, I want to know. Like, how is she justifying this? Unsubscribe because all you do is spin the truth. Well, Summer Rose, I'm going to ask you, because I know you're still here, because when people write that they unsubscribe, they want to get a reaction. How am I spinning this? I would ask anybody who's butthurt about what I said to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Candace Owens was Charlie Kirk was her best friend. That's her words. Not even invited to his funeral. Okay, so how close of a friend were you, Candace? And I'm not talking about the big thing in Arizona. I'm talking about whatever happened privately with family and friends. Okay. JJ from Iowa gifted a Rumble Premium sub. Very cool. Where has Candace ever said it was the Jews? Are we going to really go down the road? Are we really going to go down that road? She has explicitly implied it numerous times. Now, she has backtracked a little bit and said, well, I'm not saying it's the Jews. Okay. True. She did say that. But again, like, that's why I don't make a whole video. Hey, thanks, View. You know, it's like Candace is on a different level because she apparently, I mean, she really was friends with him. I don't know why she would think. I mean, people are leaking text messages about Charlie Kirk saying that she's off the deep end and this, that, and the other thing. But like, I've had friends go off the deep end and we still become, you know, we still find a way to become friendship and stuff like that. She joined Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk. Then she went to PragerU, then Daily Wire. Then she got fired for talking about Israel. And now she's independent, which I recommend for her anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good path for her. And I think she's crushing it. I mean, how many people watch her premieres? 100,000 more? PBD called her out. Show me the clip. I want to see that clip. I will allow the link in chat. Can somebody, I need to edit those clips anyway. She burnt every bridge, but I think she's better off on her own anyway. Like, I think most content creators are, you know? I mean, that Macron thing, she's going to lose that lawsuit. Does she actually think Macron's going to go up in court and, like, pull out her dick and be like, Candace Owens was right? No. She's not suing Candace Owens if she knows she can't prove it. She's going to lose that lawsuit. It could be $100 million. I don't know. Well, how much did they fine Alex Jones? $1.5 billion? Does somebody have the PBD link? Show us the dick, Bridget. Yeah. She's definitely going to lose that lawsuit 100%. She knows it. She's been lying this whole time. Of course, she knows. She's going to lose that lawsuit. I agree. I hope it doesn't ruin her. I hope it doesn't ruin her career. I hope that, you know, it's a reasonable amount of money. She can just move on. Yeah, I will admit, it is very, very weird. Their whole relationship is obviously 100% creepy and weird. I agree with that. Stephanie says, bye, Summer Rose. Much love to the quartering fans. Thank you. I mean, she has her opinion. She's allowed to have her opinion. You know, that's what I can say. But I think that she's going down a dark path that you know, is going to be bad for her soul. If she really loved Charlie that much, and if they're really best friends like she says they were, you know, I wouldn't be using him as a weapon against an enemy that he didn't have. Yeah, she's good at digging up dirt, 100%. She's one of the best. But she was out over her skis on Macron, and this Charlie stuff is getting a little annoying. Please take care of yourself. I will. I'm taking a shower in a few minutes, going to church, and then taking my wife out to dinner, and then watching a documentary on Ed Gein. Then watching a documentary on the Geinster. Does anybody have the PBD link? I'd like to see it, unless you're talking about like, it's like a huge long episode. Then we don't have time for that. If it's like a short little clip, I don't care for PBD either, to be honest with you. Look, he got rich doing a multi-level marketing scheme, and he used that money to build to not earn a platform, but just to get a platform. Oh, PBD's lackey was going off. Oh, okay. I don't care for PBD. He's just like every client I had when I used to work in internet marketing. What's wrong? Like, he's just like every one of those swarmy business guys. That's why I quit the agency world. Most everyone I worked with was getting rich off some garbage product. And, you know, they all thought they were geniuses, but the reality was they just got lucky. And they never, and because they were successful and they got lucky, they thought that they were smart, but they weren't smart. They just got lucky. And it's like, I know I got lucky with my YouTube platform. I was no better than anybody else making videos, doing the exact same thing I did at the time. I got lucky. I got lucky, and the algorithm favored me for long enough to get, build up enough subscribers, and I built a business out of it. Here's the clip, I guess.
Comes out, Rob, if you want to play this clip. Candace Owens comes out with allegations against Bill Ackman and Seth
I got it. Thanks for the link.
In an explosive video. Is this the one, Rob?
Yeah, so this is the first part where she talks about Bill Ackman inviting Charlie Kirk to the Hamptons.
Go for it.
In the Hamptons, and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged.
Her entire narrative is basically, he said, I heard this from I heard that from I heard this. Styx is crashing out. Oh no, why? What's he doing? I heard this. I heard that. You can't verify anything I have to say. Like her entire narrative is, well, I heard grumblings of this. I heard grumblings of that. I heard grumblings of this. And then she gets like one piece of evidence that doesn't even support her cause, but she shares it. And then people are like, oh, those other 3 wild claims she made must have been true. I know how
an
she
intervention
works.
was staged by Bill Ackman.
That never happened. We now know that that is a complete lie. She's going to get sued by Bill Ackman too.
Because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route.
And again, a lot of people, now that he's dead and gone, they're like, well, this is what Charlie told me privately. How can I disprove that? He's dead. Literally. I can't disprove it.
That you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset.
Never happened, by the way.
Threats were made.
No, they weren't.
Is what I am told. And
again, threats were made, and then she starts saying, well, people tell me this. People tell me this. Well, Bill Ackman and Charlie Kirk's own people came out and said, nah, that never happened. Never happened.
I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact,
he did.
He was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipt.
Yes, he did. He did provide the receipts. Not only did he provide the receipts, Charlie Kirk's own people, while they're grieving his death, had to come out and say, no, none of this happened. Never happened. So then she'll just move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? She'll just move on to the next lie.
This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way.
Oh, you know? You know it did. But 30 seconds ago, she said, I'm hearing it went down. You don't know. You weren't there. You were only told something, allegedly.
I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way.
10 of them did go on record, by the way.
It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say.
Based on nothing. Based on nothing. She has no evidence of that at all.
Okay, so that's that part. Now, Bill Ackman replies back, okay?
He
if you go to Bill's tweet, Rob, Bill Ackman, $10 billion guy, he writes a long tweet. Rob. I don't know if it's going to be tough to read it this way. If you can just go to a tweet because it's a long tweet. I'll give you the gist of it, what he says. He says he talked to Charlie. Charlie said, I can get some Charlie Kirk Jr.'s out, about 100 million followers, influencers. Let's, no problem. Let's have a meeting. So they come down, they have the meeting, and he's just showing all the text messages back and forth. But there's a long message, Rob, that there's there. And then eventually they come to the Hamptons. I'm willing to address any questions, anything that people want to talk about. And then while they're there, I actually want to read this, Rob, if you can find it.
It might be one of the longest I've ever. I read the whole thing.
But Bill always posts long tweets.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Bill doesn't post. Rob, just go to his account and keep going down, buddy. You were almost there. Yeah, just keep going down, and we'll get to keep going down. This is 2 days ago, so you got to keep going. Keep going faster, because you're at 24 hours, 19 hours. So Bill Ackman, $10 billion. Response. There it is. Right there. Okay, thank you. This afternoon, Candace Schumer is now staging an intervention with Charlie Kirk. Threats were made with respect to his opposed evolving stance on Israel at an event I hosted at Hamptons. Candace also intimated that I blackmailed Charlie. On the show, Candace said that she'll be very happy for me to dispute this narrative.
This is what Candace does. She makes up a lie and then just says, you have to disprove this lie. That's actually not how the real world works. And generally a billionaire is probably not going to be like, hey, let me take time out of my day to address something that is not true at all. And there's no evidence for.
While it pains me to drive more traffic to her program, I'm responding here to clear my name It saddens me that we're here. For the record, at no time have I ever threatened Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, or anyone else associated with them. I've never blackmailed anyone, let alone Charlie Kirk. I've never offered Charlie or Turning Point any money in an attempt to influence Charlie's opinion on anything.
By the way, Charlie's team confirmed this and was with him the entire day.
I think, in fact, my interactions with Charlie have been extremely cordial, albeit limited, regretfully so, as I was very impressed by him and his work, and I will sadly never see him again. In an effort to clear the record, I should have followed him. I followed Charlie Kirk on X for some time and greatly admired him. While I didn't agree with him on every issue, I had enormous respect for his intent.
Let's get to that part.
Ackman, first person. Candace, I heard from someone. I'm going to go with Ackman. That seems like a very detailed description of what happened, and very likely description. I mean, what Ackman pointed out there was why Charlie was so important. A billionaire, a multi-billionaire who has an issue with the growing anti-Semitism on college campuses. He knew where to go. You go to Turning Point because they have the access to the young minds on campuses, not what they're getting from the liberal professors. So Ackman goes to Charlie. Ackman saw the benefit, the value in Turning Point and Charlie's reach. Everything that Ackman points out sounds like something that a wealthy person with an agenda would do when trying to access Charlie's reach. Let's have a meeting. Let's talk about how we do this. Charlie says, well, maybe not me, but maybe we can get a handful of influencers with a big following, and we can do it that way, thereby.
Oh, well, I don't know where the part of him going off is, but, is it this guy?
People are calling me anti-Semite. I'm one of the biggest Israel support. He was not happy. Yes. Did this meeting happen in the Hamptons with Charlie and the? Yes. But what the people on our side that are saying Israel was behind it, please, and you guys all know I'm critical as hell of some of the actions that Israel does. Break it down to me what happened. So are they saying that Israel, this is where it gets freaking insane, Israel went to Tyler and had him shoot and kill Charlie, have the boy, give me the scenario where Israel did it. Give me your opinion. Lay it all out.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm asking for, too. I think with that, I've got to go get ready. I've got to go get showered up, get ready for church. And I'll let you guys know how church goes. And maybe if this new church is on the possibles list. Did you see the guy take the SIM cards and the cameras? Yes, I did see that. And they turned him over to the FBI. So he was worried. He came out and talked about that. He said he did it because he was worried about other people taking them. That's what he said. So I think I've got to jump off here, scrub my butt. And was the next guy, the Adam the Thrasher.
Just give me some facts, because
this guy
been in the same room in the last 2 years. The last thing I found, the last time they did anything was on October 3rd, 2020.
This is what I agree. I agree with this guy.
Ironically,
they haven't been friends in a long time.
A couple days before October 7th. Show me any evidence that they've been in touch, they've been in dialogue, they've done anything together. I would love to see it. So they were friends. I don't think they are friends. I think that Candace is capitalizing on Charlie's death. I think she feels horrible. She doesn't feel good about this. But Candace is an opportunist. And if we know anything about Candace, over the last couple of years, has she been biased, non-biased towards Israel? In my mind, she's been blind with rage. So, there's people that you cut out of your life. Yeah, we're not... Like, how many people that you used to drink with, you're like, dude, I can't hang out with you anymore.
The majority of the people, because that's all we had. All we had in common was drinking.
But you still had friends.
Of course, I still have friends.
We kept Adam, though.
But
I did.
Yeah,
thank you.
Go ahead.
But you kept. Thank you for that, Pat. You still love them. You still care about them.
1,000%.
You just don't hang out with them.
We just have nothing in common right now.
Bingo. That's Candace and Charlie.
I agree.
That was early.
I think he's 100% right. I think he's 100% right. I think he's 100% right. They haven't been friends in a long time. Anyway, with that, I'm praying for everybody to be safe tomorrow. I'll be live streaming. I think I might take the day off. If a bunch of people are live streaming the Kirk Memorial thing, I'll probably just take the day off because you just can't work every single day. But if there isn't and people want me to, they want a place to hang out for it, I will streaming. Are you still going to make the Discord tutorial video? Yes, I will. I'll get that done before Monday. And I'll actually put it on the members page. So when you log on, there's a link to the video on how to do it. All right, you guys have a safe, happy, relaxing Saturday. I'll be working all weekend. We streaming tomorrow, probably.